some people and just probably never understand. ECN Nation, I appreciate you. I'm not tripping. Like, if you're still in the room, like, I see your comments, like, you say you're a real dude, like, I get it. I'm not tripping. I like realness. I don't like that fake shit. And I'm telling you, I could take the heat. Like, I could take some real shit being said to me, and I'm not gonna get offended. You know what I'm saying? And I respect your perception. And I know it's all love. You know what I mean? So say what you gotta say. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Okay, so you also said, this is ECN, I hope you're still in the room. ECN Nation said, tired of seeing all of them do the same thing over and over. Well, damn, like, help a sister out. What are we doing over and over? I am being vulnerable. Thank you for... I don't mind giving people the tea. I want to help as many people as I can. And I can only help people by sharing my experience. So, I'm cool with it. Okay, so, someone said, PeeWee, get help. I was in an organization and I had to get help after leaving. I wasn't passed around like Nature Boy does most of the women, and many of y'all don't tell the truth. I swear to y'all, I know I haven't been very truthful in the past because I was sugarcoating a lot of stuff because I was scared about my reputation as far as what Carbonation would think of me, as far as what Nature Boy would think of me. And I wanted to sugarcoat things, and I didn't want to stay true to myself. But as far as now, I mean, I've told the complete, absolute truth about my experience, you know, and I was never passed around. So, I mean, but I'm not against getting help or furthering my journey to self and understanding. I understand more and more every day, and it's not that I haven't figured it out, because I've figured it out. I understand what I'm going through or what I've been through. I understand it. I truly do. And but I'm not against, you know, learning more, because as much as we think we've grown or that we're learning, you never stop growing. You never stop learning. You never stop realizing shit. You know, that's a never ending. That goes on your whole life. I'm always willing to go further and always willing to progress. So I'm about to add you in the room. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna get some popcorn, man, for these comments. Like I said, I have the tools and the knowledge to heal myself and to evolve and to give myself what I need. You guys don't need to worry about that. Oh my god, I need to get some popcorn for these comments. Okay. I just wanted to scroll through these real quick. I'm gonna add you in here real quick. I got you. Alright. I don't know. There's too many fucking comments. God damn. Alright, I'm gonna add you in. Let's see. Let me see if you're there. Add. Y'all.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, cause I'm pretty sure he's not in the room. No, he is in the room.
Who's he?
Okay, in the carbonation. There's no, at no point do you have to pick a side when you're coming from a place of understanding. And I think that, right, and I think that a lot of people have this perception about why people go over to carbonation. And the reason why I'm saying a lot of people will never truly understand, because mentally they was never in their place, right?
That's a fact.
And when you've had personal conversations with Bishop, when you get to know them and you get to know the people around them, you know, it's different. You know what I'm saying? You have a different perception than somebody on the outside looking in may perceive it.
Absolutely.
You know, so they may look at it like, these people are horrible, you know, but, and then you may look at it like, well, I see them as beautiful people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're mentally, you're in that place. You're under his control. You're, you know, and it's almost like, it's so crazy because he takes knowledge that was already out there. He takes knowledge that was already being learned and being taught by people.
Yeah.
And he put it into his own personal drama and mixed it in with, you know, all of his, what's the word I want to use? His deception. Yeah, tactics, deception. So he mixes, you know, teaching people to be enlightened along with his deviancy.
I feel like, you know, he believes in all that, and he that's the knowledge he lives by, or he wants to live by, but he hasn't healed himself. He hasn't figured it out for himself yet. He has not gotten to a point where he can even have that level of mastery. Because, like, you have to master yourself before you can try to master anybody else, like, before you can help others. So I feel like he's just bringing people along on his hiatus, on his own self-journey. People are living his truth, not theirs.
Yeah. You know, and I think that people already kind of have their mind made up about people that follow carbonation. So look, So what I learned from my personal experience with carbonation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my personal experience with Bishop is that carbonation is almost like a popcorn factory of um what is the word I want to use? Okay, I'm just gonna call it a popcorn factory, right?
Yeah.
So carbonation is a popcorn factory. On their platform, on their page, they give you all the knowledge that's already out there that you don't have to go searching for because he give it to you. Okay? And then he say, well, you can just come and be with me, live in the tropics with me. You don't have to work. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. So it's just like you're not really working towards nothing to get there. It's a popcorn factory. You know, you find them, you post a few things, you repeat what you hear everybody at Carbonation repeating. You say that you believe it, then you inbox him like, oh, I'm ready to come and be with my soul family in the tropics, you know, and I'm ready to follow you. I feel like I'm a disciple of yours, da 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 da. And then it's like, okay, so it's just like everything is given to you, you know, so easily. It's a popcorn factory. You don't have to work towards nothing.
Right.
And what I've learned with a lot of people is because, like I said, I'm coming from a place of understand. Because I understand that mindset. I understand the mindset of people in carbonation. I understand the mindset of people who left carbonation. I understand the mindset of people who were just following but never made it to carbonation. And that's my story. You know what I'm saying?
And that was my whole point of this live, is that people don't understand where people that have been a part of that or have been under that mindset are coming from, and they just put so much more pressure onto them. And it does nothing to help the situation, like,
right. So I'm gonna tell you, when I first found Bishop, right? I found him kind of like through polygamy, and I found him like kind of watching. Okay, so the thing was, I think I was watching like what he called trolls, but now I call them channel holders. So I think I was watching like somebody. I was on somebody's YouTube page, and the video came up about him and Young Pharaoh. I watched a few videos of him and Young Pharaoh. Then I wanted to know who this guy was. Then I just started searching him up, you know, on my own. And, you know, it came up with like him and living in the tropics. And, you know, I think the first video that I watched was when Ra got there. That was the first video I watched like of his. And after that, I found like the Instagram, and I started following them on Instagram, and I just kind of started, you know, kind of paying attention and following. Then I did a live with him, and he was like, well, you need to change your name if you rock with Carbonation. But I didn't want to change my name because like I said, the first video I saw of him was Young Pharaoh. So I had always kind of been like, yeah, I'm not really sure about him. So I made me a new page. I started following from their new page with the new name. And then it kind of like started to get in deep. You know what I'm saying? I started kind of almost believing the stuff that he was saying.
right.
It's like I started falling victim to not just the entertainment of it all, but actually believing it. Because that's what he do it for. He do it for entertainment. He do it to entertain people. He likes that. So, I started following and kind of started really becoming deep within everything that was going on. Then I saw the video about what he said about his son, about the penis situation and stuff. I found that video and I was like, whoa, like, that's just too much, you know, and that's a little too deep. But it was kind of like he was already in my mind. Because by this point, I had been having private conversations with him. I was talking to him. I was talking to people from Carbonation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so I started. It was like I saw that video, and I was just like, "Yo, this is just too much." You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't really know about that. But like I said, he was already in my mind at that point. He was already kind of brainwashing me. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. Like, you get to this point where you're like, he can do no wrong.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? I kind of kept it a little bit. It was kind of like, he can't do no wrong, but, you know, I always kind of had that discernment about him.
Yeah.
So I was holding on to that discernment, but I wanted to believe. It's like, girl, it was like I was tricking myself to believe. I wanted to believe. I wanted, you know, I wanted to get that thought out of my head because I was believing everything that he was telling me. I was in that headspace. So, you know, like I said, I kind of have a different understanding of it. So
you can relate.
Yes, yes, yes. Then it became the point where, you know, the private university stuff was going on and stuff, right? And I never looked at carbonation like a cult. I never saw it as that. But the way he handled that private university stuff and we going dark, we going private, like the way he handled that, that's what brought me to a new enlightenment about him.
See, I didn't see much of that. I kind of was just, like, not really tuned in around that time. I was like, when the fuck is this university shit now?
Yeah, so that was different levels to it.
Yeah.
Right? He had a page, it was a Carbonation University page. I think they still got it. He had a Carbonation University page where pretty much anybody can get on if you was like a frequent follower of his. Then he had, so that was like level 3, right? No, that was like level 4. Getting on the Carbonation University page. That was just like level 4. Like anybody could get on. This is just a place for me to come when I want to go live and I don't have to worry about people reporting me, whatever, right? Then there was the IG group chat. And it had all the members from Carbonation and a few, you know, outside people. So that was like level 3 to it. You know, it was, you know, it still was pretty much anybody can kind of get into that one too. Mm-hmm. Then the Facebook group was kind of like a little bit more, it was a little bit more exclusive. You know, so it was just like only the people, you know, from Carbonation and a handful of people that he really trusted, you know, that was like out still in the States and stuff or everywhere. So the Facebook group was like level 2, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it was a little bit more, and he called us the elitist group. So we were the elite, you know, because we made it too. Right. We made it to level 2, you know what I'm saying?
He wanted it strictly for his students, so he would call. Yeah.
Yes, for the people that he really, you know, for the people that really interpreted his knowledge well, that could hold a conversation with him, that could hold a conversation with the people at Carbonation, you know, to debate about topics, you know, just stuff like that. Yeah. That's what the Facebook group was for. So he called us the elites. Then it was like level 1, and level 1 was the people on WhatsApp. Level 1 was the people that, you know, was getting ready and geared up to go over there soon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's levels to this. It's not, excuse me, hiccup. So it was almost like it was very strategic in the way that he did everything. Yeah. And like I said, I didn't really look at Carbonation as a cult until I experienced that. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy because if somebody did something that he didn't like, he would kick them out the group, right? And then, you know, after he would kick them out the group, everybody would stop talking to that person. It was almost like they was ostracized, or, you know, they had been banished or shunned. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, so it was like he, you know, if he said he didn't like somebody, everybody in Carbonation would shun them. Even the people, you know, that was like from the States and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's because he just wants to keep them closed-minded and have everything one-sided. You know what I'm saying? There was
Yeah.
not a lot of
Yeah.
open-minded thinking at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but see, I understand that because, like I said, when I heard that penis situation, I always had that discernment about him. You know what I'm saying? I always kind of had that discernment. So when he would kick people out the group and, people would message me, I would message them back and talk to them. And then they would be like, wait, nobody else reached out to me. Nobody else is talking to me. Nobody else would answer me back. And I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, like it was really affecting people. You know what I'm saying? Like these people was hurt when he would kick them out the group, like, hurt and sad and just really like, I don't know what to do and like,
Yeah,
we had
I want to say that when I was there was a lot of lack of compassion for outside people. And there was a lot of shit talking about people who weren't in tune with his message or living his message. Like he would hang up on people. Like this one lady was like trying to ask questions and she was like, oh, hold on, I'm at work right now. And he laughed and was like, you're at work, and hung up on her. And it's like, you need to accept people for where they're at, especially if you're trying to help people. Like you say, you're trying to help people get out of their situation. You have to accept that they're in their situation first. And if there was just a lot of judgment, and I just never really liked that about that. And I'm like, well, how can this person be as enlightened as they say, and they don't even have the basic foundations of love and understanding and compassion like they say they do? It's like one thing to say something, but actions speak way louder than words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's and it's so funny because that's really how he is. And like this was around the time like after they cut their hair and stuff. But in the elitist group on the Facebook group, we was on group chat, y'all. We would be on call when I say 27 hours. We would be on video chat day in and day out. Like there was never a time to be off the chat. If you would be off the chat for too long, he would feel like you was, ignoring him or ignoring the group, and you would have like a 3-hour lecture as to why you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or, you know what I'm saying, like why you trying to. It was just like really weird, And around this time, I still had a job. So, whenever I could listen, I would listen in. But it's like if I was gone for too long, or if he was like, I needed to report to him. If I didn't do it within a timely manner, that would really piss them off.
Damn.
Like, I just don't think people understand the mind control he has over people, right? So when all of that started happening, that's when I found people like Granny and all of that, and I started to reach out to them. I'm not going to lie to you. Around that point, I was kind of confused about everybody, right?
Yeah.
I had my discernment about him. I still didn't really trust, the channel holders. I didn't trust nobody because I was just like, I really don't know what's truth. Like, I really don't know who to believe. I really don't know who to talk to. I really don't know who to seek, information to. So I would call Granny. And I would tell her stuff. But I would never, send her messages and stuff. I really was, like I said, I didn't trust Carbonation. I didn't trust nobody. So I wouldn't send her the proof that I had with the stuff that I had, until I actually got to, really, really trust her. Then I started sending her stuff. I started sharing more with her and, just kind of being open. But I had my full awakening from Carbonation when I got completely kicked out the group, right? And because like I said, then the same thing happened to me. It was like I had been shunned too. So that was just like really weird to me. You understand what I'm saying? It was like I had been shunned. But like I said, Bishop, he kind of have a way with words or whatever. Then we kind of started talking again. But it was never the same because at this point, I didn't believe nothing he said. I didn't want to mess with him on that level or nothing, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my experience. I just want to kind of share my experience with him.
And you know what's bigger than all of it? What's bigger than all of it, and what really like drives people to go through those lengths to be a part of Carbonation